Hi, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Scott Show, This Day in History. You might notice that the music I played to start the show was actually the morning show jingle. I just thought, why not give it a little bit of a change? A little thumbs up for this day in history. So why not? So we're going to get started with this day in history. It's the 25th of January, 340 days remaining until the end of the year. AD 41, after a night of negotiation, Claudius is accepted as Roman emperor by the Senate. In 1494, Alfonso II becomes king of Naples. 1515, the coronation of Francis I of France. 1533, Henry VIII of England secretly marries his second wife, Anne Boleyn. In 1554, the founding of Sao Paulo, the city in Brazil. In 1575, Luanda, the capital of Angola, is founded by a Portuguese navigator named Apollo. In 1755, Moscow University is established by Tatiana Day. In, 1787, Shays' Rebellion, the rebellion's largest confrontation outside the Springfield Armory, results in the killing of 4 rebels and the wounding of 20. In 1791, the British Parliament passes the Constitutional Act of 1791 and splits the Quebec into Upper Canada and Lower Canada. 1792, the London Society is founded, corresponding society. In 1858, the Wedding March is played at the wedding of Queen Victoria's daughter Victoria and Frederick of Prussia, and becomes a popular wedding song. In 1879, the Bulgarian National Bank is founded. In 1881, Thomas Edison and Alexander Graham Bell formed the Oriental Telephone Company. In 1890, Nellie Bly completes her around-the-world journey in 72 days. In 1890, I would love to know how she did that. I'm gonna peek. All right, in 1915, Alexander Graham Bell inaugurates the U.S. transcontinental telephone service, speaking from New York to Thomas Watson in San Francisco. 1918, the Ukrainian People's Republic declares independence from Bolshevik Russia. In 1924, the Olympics open in Chamonix in the French Alps, inaugurating the Winter Olympic Games. 1937, a guiding light debuts on the radio in Chicago. It moves to television in 1952 and lasts until 2009. So, popular and long-time running show. 1941, Pope Pius XII elevates the Vicariate of the Hawaiian Islands to the dignity of a diocese. It becomes the Roman Catholic Diocese of Honolulu. There you go. In 1945, the Battle of the Bulge ends in the European section of the World War II war. 1946, the mine workers rejoins the American Federation of Labor. 1947, Thomas Goldsmith Jr. files a patent for a cathode ray tube amusement device, the first ever electronic game. Oh, how far we have come as a society. In 1949, the first Emmy Awards are presented. The area in which they have the award ceremony is the Hollywood Athletic Club. 1961, President John F. Kennedy delivers the first live presidential news conference. 1964, Blue Ribbon Sports is founded by the University of Oregon and later became Nike. 1971, Charles Manson and 3 female family members are found guilty in the 1969 Tate LaBianca, the Tate murders in LaBianca. In 1979, Pope John Paul II starts his first official papal visits outside of Italy to the Bahamas, Dominican Republic, and Mexico. Believe me, I would go to those countries too. In 1980, Mother Teresa is honored with India's highest civilian award. 1986, the National Resistance Movement topples by the government in Uganda. 1995, the Norwegian rocket incident. Russia almost launches a nuclear attack after it mistakes a research rocket for a U.S. Trident missile in 1995. In 96, Billy Bailey becomes the last person to be hung in the United States. That's definitely something to look up. Alright, during an historic visit to Cuba, Pope John Paul II demands political reforms and release of political prisoners while condemning the United States' attempts to isolate the country. That happened in 1998. In 2003, a group of people leave England for Baghdad to serve as human shields, and they're trying to prevent the U.S.-led troops from bombing certain locations. Interesting. In 2011, the first wave of the Egyptian revolution begins throughout the country, marked by street rallies, acts of civil disobedience, riot, labor strikes, and violent clashes. And in 2013, 50 people are killed, 120 are injured in a prison riot in Venezuela. So, folks, a lot of our history is murders and all that other stuff, but we just look at it for what it is, and remember that if we don't learn our history, we are definitely doomed to repeat it. And you can say that every time we talk about a presidential election. Okay, so births we got going on today. Anna Brittany was born this day in history, 1477. William Colgate, the guy who invented and founded Colgate, Palmolive, all that great stuff, was born this day in 1783. Virginia Woolf, famous writer, was born this day in 1882. Kind of looking down the list because we are getting closer to finding the oldest person still with us. It is not Maurice Roy, even though I will wish Maurice happy birthday. Born 1905. And it looks like we have our winner. The oldest person still with us today is Arvid Carlsson. He is a Swedish physician and a Nobel Prize winner. He would be today 95 years old, so happy birthday to Arvid. And yes, happy birthday. That's awesome. So we got lots of other birthdays to talk about today. Conrad Burns, it's his birthday, 1935 he was born. He passed away 2 years ago. Etta James, it would have been her birthday today, 1938. Doc Bundy, 1946. Going down the list here, it's Timothy White's birthday today, 1952. Diane Monoff, who is very famous for the movie Grease, where she played, it's just Maraschino. I can't remember what her first name was. But she also played on the show Empty Nest. So happy birthday to her. And she was also on the show Soap. I'm actually going to go and just Google this quick. Marty Maraschino in the show Grease. Luann Lefkowitz in the show Soap. And Carol Weston in the show Empty Nest. And if you have not seen any of that, go check it out. She's an amazing actress. Happy birthday to her. I didn't want to screw it up. 1962, Chris Chelios was born this date in history. Lots of other really cool people. I don't know a few of them. Stephanie Bellers was born this date in history, 1976. Alicia Keys was born 1981. Chris O'Grady was born 1986. And the last one that's listed on here is Casper Larson, who was born this day in 1993. So happy birthday to you. A few deaths I want to cover. Pope Gregory IV died this day in history in 844. There's always a few of them because there's only 365 days in the year. Al Capone died this day in 1947. Ava Gardner died this day in 1990. Kind of looking down the list still here. Arthur Doyle died this day in 2014. Mary Tyler Moore died this day in 2017. And John Hurt as well. So there are always people who we miss on the list. If you guys have any that we missed on the list, by all means, let me know. It is the holidays that we got going on. Burns Night in Scotland. National Nutrition Day in... it's National Police Day in Egypt. National Voters Day in India. It's Revolution Day 2011 in Egypt. And Tatiana Day in Russia. So you guys have a great day. We'll catch you here real soon on thescottshow.com.